Welcome to a brand new episode of the Post Game. I'm your host, Davion, and today I am joined by Matt
What up?
and Aronde.
What's popping?
And today we are back. Listen, today on the Post Game, we hit 900 subs on YouTube. Please go like, subscribe, comment on the YouTube. I love interacting with y'all over there. But yeah, our goal is to hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year. I think we got about a month and a half. I think we can do it. And I'm excited. Ready? So, welcome back. We have not put out a full-on long podcast in a while, like an hour plus video in about a year and a half. So we'll be looking to put more of these, put these out weekly. Every Wednesday, we're gonna have an hour long, hour and a half long podcast talking about all sports, NFL, NBA, soccer, college football, regardless. So, as we get ready to gear up for the college football playoffs, as we get ready to get into the NFL playoffs, all these things are happening. Please remember, leave your comments and let's get into it. So today we're gonna start off with the NFL. The NFL this season has been filled with a lot of surprises, a lot of fun. We've seen some undefeated teams get beat this past weekend. We've seen some bad teams smoke other bad teams. It's been a great weekend,
Hmm.
but
Yep.
going to start with a recap of this week. What are some of the things that y'all noticed this week? What are some of the overarching things that y'all wanted to talk about today?
I want to go first. I
Go for it.
my Some of my favorite things I noticed this week. One, Chicago still can't beat the Packers.
Yeah.
First and foremost, they still can't do it. Gosh darn, that Chicago O line is terrible to watch, and
Yep.
it pains me to even say that.
Yeah.
Second of all, Denver is real.
Bro, hold
Bo,
on.
Bo
You
Nix,
gotta, no, no, no.
baby.
You go topic by topic because that's what I
Yeah,
want to
we
talk
gotta go
about
one
too.
by one. We gotta one.
All right.
So, I mean,
I'll keep with Packers in Chicago.
okay.
Jordan Love is a madman, but that's because he's raised in that organization. So I should have expected that. But for them to win on a blocked field goal like the Chiefs Devil Magic,
Yep.
I think it's kind of poetic to keep their now 10-game win streak against the Bears.
You know what's
Yeah.
you know what like doesn't make like Jordan Love like it's like that Packers team, they breed like those crazy kind of sometimes inconsistent like gunslinging quarterbacks. Like these like if you look at Jordan Love, he's like damn near a direct representation of Aaron Rodgers.
Yep, of
Like and I
early
sit there and I
Rodgers.
watch and I'm like, what are we doing?
Like,
Like
what do you mean you threw an absolute piss missile down the seam for a 30-yard touchdown and then you can't make a layered throw?
Literally.
literally,
That whole
literally.
game.
It's just like
um,
there's
it
no
was just
like
it
go ahead.
it's a pain. It's a pain to watch, but it's so entertaining because you're like, how is he going to mess it up, but also make him look like an MVP candidate sometimes? It's like,
Literally.
what are you doing? And they didn't have
Um,
a run game either.
no, I mean Jacobs did decent. He had 76 rushing yards and a
Yeah.
TD. They had 106 on the ground com compared to Chicago though, had
Paired.
179. Um, I will say this though, for the Bears' sake, they are in such a weird spot because to me, I think they need to fire Matt Eberflus.
Should have
They
been
should have
fired.
fired him already.
Yes, they should have fired
Um,
him.
Caleb is going to be good. The question is, how fast will the Bears organization find, you know,
Solution.
change and a solution for
Yeah.
him? Because that was probably, besides like maybe one or two games earlier this season, that was probably like one of the better games he played, and he didn't even do like that crazy. Like he
Yeah.
set them up to win, and then that voodoo magic happens. But like, um, Bears fans, I'm sorry. I feel bad because
I don't.
I'm looking at their schedule and they probably will lose out.
Oh, is it that
Like
bad?
let's take a recap. Let's see. So they played Green Bay.
All right.
Their next games are Minnesota,
Ooh.
Detroit, San
Oh.
Ooh.
Francisco.
Huh?
What?
No,
Ah,
no, no. The Niners are a better team. Minnesota, Detroit again,
Damn. Damn.
Seattle, and then Green Bay to
Yeah,
finish
they
off.
they can definitely lose out. The only
The
game
only
I'd question would be the Niners because
Niners and Seahawks. I
ah,
would. What do
I
you mean?
question Seattle more than the
I
Niners.
question Seattle more than the Niners
I
because the
think it's the
night
other way around to me.
Mm, I know they just lost this past week, but the Niners are a good team. They're just trying to figure it out.
They lost to the
And the
Seahawks.
West, the NFC
That's a
West
division game, though.
isn't great right now.
Right. I mean, besides Arizona, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the whole, they fire their OC. Looked like it's starting to be a good thing because who'd they get in there? Oh my God.
Ryan Poles?
Thomas.
Thomas, right.
Thomas. He used to be with Carolina last year. He was not the best, but there's that was a dumpster
He
fire
took
anyways.
over when Brady left, right?
No, he took over when they fired Frank Reich.
Oh, he was the interim head.
I think so. Or it
Mhm.
was like the special teams coach. But like it was Thomas Brown. Anyways, yeah, the
Sorry.
Bears looked a lot better. I'll say that. Not perfect. Um, but from what people were expecting out of this team, it is low key just a bust year. Um,
Yeah. But I would also say this. I mean, I think this season was more about like, your head coach having a one more year type thing to figure out is he going to be the future head coach, right? And then you also went into the season thinking, did we make the right decision with Caleb? And I think, you technically like you did. You did make the right decision with Caleb. And I think that comes with a learning curve. Like he's put on display some very, very good games and just a very good year. So, I mean, I wouldn't beat myself up right now if I'm a Bears fan. But if I'm the head coach of the Chicago Bears, I'm getting ready to pack my bags because there's no way that I come back next year. No way. There's no way
right.
he makes it. Granted, there's probably no way he makes it out of the year.
And yeah, all the Bears need now is just O-line.
Yeah.
It's bad. Like really bad. So
And so, another thing, I wanted to talk about a couple different topics today. Who would we describe as one of as the best team in the NFL right now? Some would say the Eagles, some would say the Lions. I would personally say the Lions. I think what the Lions have showed us this season is that, usually when one side of the team struggles, then they fail. If the offense struggles, then they fail. Is that not talking about the Lions in particular, but just any team. But what
right.
I've seen from the Lions is that, if Jared Goff throws 5 interceptions and they'll still win. If their defense allows up 45 points, they'll still win. And it's like one of those things where it's like the Lions are dominating everyone in the NFL right now, and they are winning football games by a lot. What Jared Goff put on display this week, going
24 for 29,
yeah,
412 yards, 4 touchdowns, a
like
QBR of 93.
what? Like
QBR is a fake metric, but
yeah,
Still.
that was like that metric based off of what those stats are is a joke. But I mean, 24 for 29, over 400 yards, 4 touchdowns is incredible. Like that's what you want out of your franchise quarterback, and I think we are going to witness this Detroit team at a different place this year. We're gonna see them where some people didn't think they were gonna be. And
I
this
certainly
I think-
think the Lions are the best team in the league.
Of
Right
course.
behind them, if not tied with, would be the Buffalo Bills.
I completely agree with that statement.
For
Completely
two
agree.
reasons. One, because they both can produce, and obviously they've played a decent schedule. But two, the Chiefs are still a bad team in my opinion. They're just Chiefs. If that's
They're a
even
bad
if
team?
that's
They're not bad.
I
They're
won't
not
say
a
they're
team.
bad, but
Stop
They're not a
it.
bad team.
comparatively
Stop.
bad to previous seasons. Okay, bad
Oh,
bad
sure,
to what
but
their
they
will say-
expectations
listen,
bad to what their expectations were supposed to be.
but for you to no. No team's gonna come into it with the expectation of going 9-0 now into the
But
NFL.
Davion, I'm talking. I think Aronde's saying like when you look at like Mahomes, this is definitely the worst series ever
It's
had
And they're
very
9-1.
down season.
because of the
no,
coaching.
100%, I 100% agree. 100% agree.
Because and then my second team that I'm very down on is the Eagles.
I'm
You can
completely
give
agree with
him
that
you can
statement
give
too.
him credit, but there's one man who's still on that team that you have to be concerned about whether he'll crash and burn, and that's
Jalen?
Nick Sirianni.
Yep.
Whoa. Then I guess
Forget
there's
Mr.
two then. There's another one.
Forget Mr. Hurts. It's
I
all
think
about
he's a problem
Sirianni.
too. I think he's an issue.
Here's the
How?
thing. I don't think I will say Hurts is very inconsistent. If he didn't this, I think Hurts and Sirianni are very like you can compare him in consistency wise.
Yeah.
I don't think Sirianni is a good coach at all, but his team is so goddamn good that it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It does not
Totally
matter.
agree. I think, okay,
Jalen
here's my
Hurts,
thing. So when I look at it, when I look at that team, when I look at the Eagles, I see they have arguably the best running back in the National Football League. And when he gets the ball 60% of the time, they are unstoppable. Whenever Jalen Hurts has the ball and it's his job to fully control the offense, get the ball down the field, I think they tend to struggle. And again, you're completely correct. Nick Sirianni is an issue. And that's what it's going to be looking at the end of the season. Their defense, though, are gelling very well. Their defense are
Oh,
with you know
they
with
started
Kuban
finally
Najee,
playing
like
as a unit.
huh?
right?
I said they're finally playing as a unit.
Yes, exactly. And it looks like it. Like watching football games, you see that they're a dominant team. Like they are a group of men out there working their behinds off. And so when I look at it, that's why I can't give the Eagles that number one slot. But Aranda, you made a great point. The Buffalo Bills, to me, are number two. But go ahead. Matt.
I wanted to throw out um this isn't that hot of a take, but I think the Steelers need to be up there too.
Sure. I'm
Be-
yeah, go ahead.
because
Mm,
we know about their defense. We know
yeah.
how Tomlin runs it. That is always going to be elite. I mean, the fact that what is Lamar? Like, he has 2 wins against the Steelers his whole career,
Yeah.
Yep.
and Lamar is probably going to win the MVP this year. If anything, if all goes well for him the rest of the year,
If not him, it's gonna be Burrow.
Or Josh.
it won't be Burrow,
It won't be Burrow. It'll
unfortunately.
probably be Josh.
It won't. It'll be probably Josh or Lamar. But yeah, like with the Steelers, elite defense, quarterback issues. Now, to me, I think they have 2 really solid quarterbacks. I no, I mean Russ has been playing not out of his mind, but he's been playing good enough to win games, which is all they need.
So he can
And
mm, I I hear you, Matt. I do. My biggest concern about the Pittsburgh Steelers is their offense. It's
oh,
their
of course,
listen, Jordan Pickens is insane. Insane.
he's been great.
Like
Hmm.
he's been great. Yes. They need Najee Harris and Warren to run the ball effectively like they did against the Ravens.
Mm.
Najee
Right.
Harris looked like Derrick Henry out there this weekend. And my biggest issue is that that side of Najee is so inconsistent that it doesn't make logical sense why he's not a top five back in the league. Like, if he can consistently do that every single week and play the way he played last week, every single week, I'm all here for throwing the Steelers up there. But I'm just not there yet. And granted, they haven't played. This is their first week of divisional play. First week.
So they have
I don't know why the league backloaded everyone's schedules this year.
They have the
yeah,
hardest second half of the year this year though,
yeah, they play like all division games for the rest of the year.
and the Chiefs, I
Um,
think.
Chiefs and Eagles are the
Yeah.
non-division games.
Oof.
Oh,
Um,
that's rough.
yeah, but like you said, yeah, their offenses can be a little shaky. They do need to establish the run game for sure. I think Pickens has been great. Mike Williams also has come in clutch for them. He came in
Yeah.
clutch for them not last week, but against the Commanders. Um, yeah, but I think just defense alone, I think I would argue like they're like the third best team in the league, maybe second best, but that's just me.
I'd give so I got Bills and Lions 1 and 2 in my opinion. I
I'll
think
go.
the Chiefs are good, but they're
Chiefs are
not.
like 5. They're
Yeah,
good, but
I'll give them
like
4 or 5.
like what have they had? Like I think half of their games have been decided by like 3 points or less,
Yeah.
or something crazy. Like they low key could have a negative record. Like they could be under 500, but obviously they're not. So
So, we looked at the best teams in the NFL right now. We looked at the Bears. Let's talk about a team that, and if you watch my content, you know that I've been talking about this player for a while now, and that's Bo Nix. this Denver Broncos team led by Bo Nix, what they did at home this week versus
To the Falcons.
Atlanta, huh?
Yeah, to the Falcons.
Versus Atlanta, who's number one in the NFC South. But at times they are very inconsistent, or no, they are very inconsistent, and they're starting to hit a wall right now. But what Bo Nix did to this team, 28 of 33, 300 yards, 4 passing touchdowns, is remarkable in my opinion. That's like, yes, he had the rookie growing pains week 1, week 2, a little bit of week 3, but after that, he's been surgical. Am I right? Like
Oh yeah.
surgical.
I mean, I just want to say I apologize because
There you go.
I was a Broncos hater at the beginning of the year. I thought they were going to be one of the worst teams in the league
Uh-oh,
because of Sean Payton mainly, but that's a different story.
that's some hate.
Um, no, Bo Nix has been balling,
Yes.
and he probably he could win the Rookie of the Year. He probably will if it's between him and Jaden, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, and what's great about Bo Nix is having a rookie QB and then having an elite defense is like just a gift for Bo Nix at this point. I mean, 6 points. In fact, they only scored 6 points, and they are considered like the best team in the NFC South or like one of the better teams in the NFC. It's just
Yeah.
ridiculous to me.
And to that point, I'd also say that when you look at the Broncos, you look at, the head coach. I mean, being a Saints fan, I had Sean Payton at the helm my entire tenure as a Saints fan. And, his job, once, regardless, he doesn't care about running up the score. He doesn't care about putting his foot in your neck and dropping 70 on you. He does not care. But, 38 points shows a strength from your offense, from your defense, and to only allow 6 points was absolutely incredible. I think this Broncos team will be a force to reckon with in the playoffs. And I think, a lot of people should definitely open their eyes and pay attention.
Especially in that division. Now that's going
Yeah,
to be a tough division besides the Raiders, but
yeah, for sure.
like those top three teams, like anything could happen there. So,
And especially with this defense, that they're the highest amount of points they've allowed this season has been 20, and that was week 1 to the Seahawks. Since
yeah.
then, they've held every opponent under 20. And really, this defense really showing that you can't just count them out because of the name the Broncos. Like
Mhm.
all this turmoil that they've had with the Russell situation, obviously hiring Sean Payton, and now a rookie quarterback at the helm. Who, I mean, one of your defensive players said it before the game. He was like, "There's like 10 years of film on him because he spent so much time
Oh
in
yeah.
college." Like it's not like we expected him to like start kind of like Jaden did, but he is really warmed up to the system and playing well at the high level. So I am going to enjoy the remainder of their season because they have a really good chance of winning out. I mean, they play the Raiders, they host the Browns and the Colts, then they go to LA, go to Cincinnati, and they end their season versus the Chiefs, which still a winnable game because they almost beat them last time.
Right.
So they have a
It,
really good chance of winning out and just showing up to the playoffs in a pretty good position.
it's just weird too because this team does not look like it deserves like 5 losses. This team, like the fact that they're 6-5 is just kind of weird to me. Like I feel like they should have way more wins for how they're playing. But
I mean,
All but one of these losses were one score games. The only
right,
blowout loss was they had was to the Ravens, and the Ravens are a powerhouse,
well,
so that's kind of
that's different.
excusable. But they were a touchdown away from the Steelers. They were a
They're a
blocked field
field
goal
goal away
away
from
from
the
the
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Yep. And I don't even remember what happened to the Seahawks game, but still only 6 points. Those are all winnable games.
yeah, I think I look at the Broncos, I look at that team, and I see a team that I I, I see a team that looks like sorry, I see a team that looks like the um like the Packers from last year. I see a team with good defense, with an interesting quarterback at the helm. I see a team that could definitely be an issue, and I'm excited to watch them. Like I'm genuinely excited to look at this team for the rest of the season.
Hmm.
And so, as we begin to continue to talk, I want to talk about two more things in the NFL. I want to talk about the playoff picture so far, and I want to talk, and we're going to give our predictions on all the games for the rest of the week. So, let us talk about the playoff picture. So, looking at the playoff picture, can y'all see this?
Yes, we can.
All right, perfect. We have right now the Chiefs and the Lions with byes. We see in the first round in the wild card, we have the Broncos versus the Bills. I think will be a great game. We have the Ravens versus the Steelers will be a great game. Obviously, we just saw one this past weekend. And we have the Chargers versus the Texans. So, you know what's crazy to me about this side of the AFC right now is that I think that that's how it's going to play out. Like I don't see any of those
Yeah.
teams falling out. I think that's what we're going to get in the playoffs this year for the AFC.
The only way, this is like a crazy hypothetical, but I could low key somehow see the Dolphins creep in
I
to
agree.
like that
Yeah.
7th seed, but th that's kind of it. And then with like the NFC, maybe the Rams, maybe the Niners, like one of those two.
Yeah.
Like that division alone is a toss up still right now. Um, Bucks too, honestly.
Wait, what are you talking about? That's the wrong side.
I'm just talking about NFC. I'm talking about both in general.
Oh, you're talking about both. Oh, my bad. Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like with the NFC, I think it's more doable for like those bottom teams to make it. But like
I
with the
agree.
AFC, it's probably set in stone. Like I said, maybe the Dolphins creep in, but that's probably it.
Yeah. So, I mean, looking at it, I mean, who's going to make it out of the AFC? What's your team to make it out of the AFC right now?
I think it has to be Chiefs or Pittsburgh.
I'm saying Buffalo.
I think this is Buffalo's year.
I think so
No.
too.
As much as it pains me, they're in the better situation right now. So I'll have to go with the Buffalo
And this for
Bills.
me is definitely not recency bias. I mean, I had the Bills beating the Chiefs this past week. If y'all didn't know, my predictions this week, I got I was 13-1 on my predictions this week. So I'm pretty good at what I do. But yeah, no, I think the Bills will make it out of the AFC. So looking at the NFC, what are we going with there? I mean, you have
It
inconsistency.
has to be Detroit.
I think so too.
Detroit
I
or
think
Philly.
that's the easiest thing. I think you look at the Vikings, they're inconsistent. Atlanta, bad, in a bad division. I think the Packers, sometimes they're inconsistent. Cardinals, a little young for my liking. Same thing with the Commanders. And then the Eagles, if anything, it's going to be Eagles and the Lions in the NFC Championship game. And that'll be a
Right.
good game to decide who goes to the Super Bowl. And I think this year it will be the Lions' year to win it all.
Oh, I hope
Who-
so.
But the more important question, who is going to play spoiler for each of these divisions? Because there's always one bad team that goes in and messes everything up for the
I
rest
have
of
two
us.
for the NFC. I
Like
have
like that's in the contention right now or just in general?
In general.
I have two for the NFC.
Every year
Commanders
we have
and
a Purdue.
I have Commanders and the Cardinals being that on that upset watch.
Ooh, that's a good
Minnesota for
call.
me. Minnesota for me.
Yeah, I guess so.
I can get that.
Darnold
Just a little
isn't good enough.
inconsistent.
Yeah, yeah. Minnesota or Atlanta, honestly. Or mine.
Atlanta? Wow. I think they're bad.
I mean,
I
because
don't-
they can just drop 50 randomly. So
That's what I'm saying. Like Atlanta, with Atlanta, like the Bucks are still like a good team. It's just they've been injured, and now like obviously they lost Godwin, but like Mike Evans is coming back. You still have Baker, who's been great. Like to me, that NFC South could be a toss up too. So
Yeah. Saints are coming too.
Yeah, it still is.
absolutely not.
We
Now
both
Now for the
Oh.
AFC side. Now for the AFC.
We're not
side.
talking about this, Davion, but I don't know why you want them to win right now.
Oh,
That's
I
just
don't,
all
bro.
I'm saying.
I do not want them to win. That's the problem. I want to lose out. I don't want to win. We're gonna end up 9-8.
The tank
and
battle
get
is
a
like 10
16,
teams deep
17
right
draft
now.
pick and just piss me off.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad teams this year.
Mine
Yeah.
included.
Yeah.
Anyways, the
Yeah, mine too.
AFC side. Who's your
the
upset?
AFC side, my
The
upset team, my upset team has to be the Indianapolis Colts.
Interesting.
I can't
Has
do
to be
it.
the
I
Indianapolis
can't.
Colts.
I was fully on the Colts train, and then what we saw. Obviously, Richardson had a great game. but it was the Jets. The Jets are
Bad.
gonna be
Rodgers needs to
rebuilding
retire.
for the Jets
But
are gonna
at
be
this
rebuilding
point,
for the next 10
a win
years.
is a win. We have to take a win, especially because that
You're right.
Jets team is it's not
But
like it's a
who are
cakewalk
they
compared
knocking
to the
out?
Jaguars.
Who are they knocking out?
And Arande, remember, you just said that the Broncos could win out.
I
That's what's
did.
exactly what you just
Like
said.
they're not
I
the
did.
Colts are not beating the Chargers, they're not beating the Broncos. They're definitely not beating the Ravens or the Steelers.
Nope. Nope.
Maybe they could beat out Houston in that division, but like it needs to be some insane run that
That's
happens.
what I'm saying. Because I mean, Anthony came back from being benched and was like, "I guess
Let
I
me
know how
drop
to
three
play
TDs
football
on your
now."
head. Yeah, let me drop
Yeah,
three
like
TDs
I
on
know
your
how to
head.
play
Yeah.
football now. I
Yeah.
understand it now. So if we get a Colts Linsanity run, I'm all for
That'd be
it.
awesome. That would be
That
awesome.
it's like it's like my upset picks. Let's say it's something if it happens. Hell yeah. If it doesn't happen,
It is what it is.
bit of a long shot. It is what it is. Yeah. That's why I go
I
with the Colts rather than the Bengals
I,
because
I would have
I don't think
said,
they can
yeah.
figure out their defense this year,
I
and
was gonna
that's
say the
very
Bengals,
unfortunate.
if they beat the Chargers, I would say yeah, the Bengals could sneak in there, but I think it's too late.
I think it's a wash for the Bengals personally.
Which is sad to say
I think that's
because
Dude,
I think that's
because
2 weeks too. It's 2 weeks too late.
yeah, like they had to win that game
Yeah.
or one of those.
Yeah.
but it just sucks because Burrow is playing so well.
He is.
It's a
He's playing
wash.
top three in the NFL right now. But
Jamar Chase too.
Oh yeah, Jamar Chase is carrying my 12-man team.
Yeah.
so, as we begin to wrap up the NFL, let's go into predicting. Oh, wrong week. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's go into predicting next week. I know it's crazy. We didn't talk about the Chargers, who I like. I'm pretty high on right now. I think the 49ers will figure it out. We just need some time.
My
Um,
Harbaugh prediction still could come true for Coach
yeah,
of the
I
Year.
mean,
Also,
y'all want to
I'm
re-talk about the predictions right now? So, at the beginning of the year, there's four predictions out. Um, Will said Kyler Murray will win Comeback Player of the Year. Or Omega
if it's not
said
J.K. Dobbins.
Eagles win the Super Bowl.
That could
Matt
happen.
bet me that the Colts would win their division.
Yeah, that's not looking good.
Oh, you see that $10 over here?
Nope.
And then Matt also said Harbaugh will win Coach of the Year, which is likely.
I think Harbaugh Coach of the Year, J.K. Dobbins Comeback Player of the Year, which is pretty likely.
There's somebody else I like for comeback. I made a video a couple days ago about it. I don't remember who it was. Oh, it was Kurt, but Kurt's playing awful right now. But
Nah.
regardless, looking ahead to next week, let's talk about let's give our week 12 predictions. This will come out before I even give my official predictions. So I'm saying these now, but these could change for me, because I'm so high in professional.
Subject to change, we're just gonna put that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Thursday night football, Steelers, Browns in Cleveland. What do you got?
Cleveland, Steelers. It'll be like a boring. I feel like that game's gonna be so boring.
Oh yeah, I think so. I hope so. I hope Mike
Like
Tomlin.
it'll be like 15-3 or something. It'll just be field goals.
I hope Tomlin has the boys ready to like absolutely kill them. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Steelers too. I'm pretty sure Ronnie has the Steelers.
Mhm.
Chiefs versus Panthers.
It'll be the Chiefs. They're out for blood now because they just lost.
They just
So
lost. Yep.
I'm worried. But Bryce has looked good for 2 games. Who knows what happened? But I'm still
You
sticking
know what I
with the
realized? The
Chiefs.
Chiefs aren't a team that's gonna drop 50 points on you.
No,
Like they don't do that.
that like it's funny. I'm gonna say this and it's gonna be wrong. That game could be closer than people expect.
What's close? 14?
Like
Oh
10.
man, I agree. I think Bryce Young and what that team has been doing coming off the bye week,
Like
they played well.
if
They played well.
they've played well. Jonathan Brooks is coming back from ACL, so they're gonna actually have a run game.
Yeah.
So who
That's a guy from
knows?
Texas, right?
Yes,
Oh
he
yeah.
tore his ACL
Yeah.
last year. But it'll probably be Chiefs by like 10.
I think so. Yeah. Vikings versus the Bears.
Give me the Vikings.
Yeah, I'll take the Vikings.
Vikings, yeah.
I hope to
Just
see more
defense alone.
consistency out of them. I need them to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Texans versus the Titans. Texans coming off a big win in Jerry World.
Give me the Texans.
Texans.
Even though the Titans can do it.
No,
Yeah,
Yeah, they
they're
can.
they're cooked. They're
I
Yeah, they
cooked.
think they
can.
can do it as well, but they won't do it.
Yeah.
Give the Texans as well. Uh, Lions versus the Colts. Colts, trying to really make a name for themselves, trying to get some more wins to get into the playoffs. Lions coming off a big win, big blowout against Jacksonville. But to me, that shows that they aren't taking it easy even on the bad teams. Because usually you'll see a good team like, slack off and half-ass it a little bit. But the Lions dominated against Jacksonville. So I think it's going to be a blowout for the Chiefs.
So
They
Ben
don't
Johnson
care.
is making sure that he gets every use of his playbook.
That's
Oh, yeah.
correct.
Oh, yeah. He ain't playing. They ain't
Also,
playing.
Matt Jones stunk it up again.
It'll be the
Brings a smile to my face.
it'll be the Lions for sure that win
Yeah,
that.
Lions easily. Also, you said it right for me earlier with the Steelers.
Okay, good. Um, Patriots versus Patriots versus the Dolphins.
Hey man, Drake May, he's looked good.
Shout
The
out
Dolphins,
good.
the
Shout out
Dolphins
my dude Drake.
secondary is not the best. Give me Drake. Give me Drake and the Pats.
Ooh, this is actually tough.
And better yet, my odds go up if Christian Barmore plays this week
I don't want to think about
because he just come off injury
I-
designation.
I will pick the Dolphins because I just think they have a better roster, and that's the leverage they get. They win by like 4 or 3.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think I'm gonna take the Dolphins because right now they're trying to make a push for the playoffs.
Right.
That's their whole shtick. Like, going and getting a big win. I think it was at home, but getting a big win against the Raiders last week. They're trying to really open up their team, open up their, identity as a group and get a win. And they looked good last week. Not gonna lie, they looked really good last
And
week.
you got to know that the Dolphins are only favored a touchdown against us, according to DraftKings Sportsbook. If you want to sponsor us, but only a touchdown.
Yeah,
7
you're more than
points.
welcome to sponsor if asking. I'll say whatever you want to say. Whatever you want me to say. No. But yeah, I'll take Miami as well. Here's this news fest. Giants
Bucks.
versus the Bucks.
Bucks.
The Bucks with the Giants having the
Tommy
worst
DeVito will do absolutely
total
nothing.
points in this season.
I just want to say one thing about the Giants.
The veto is back.
Clap your hands, folks. Daniel Jones is a third string quarterback. It took him 5 years. He will not be a starting QB, or he probably won't be in the league after this.
Just switch him to running
year.
back. I was telling my friends this. Just make him
No.
play running back.
Too many concussions.
He's done. He's done.
Make him play running back.
He's done.
My thoughts on Danny while we have the time for this. The Giants organization is dysfunctional, so I won't give him all of the benefit of being bad.
I agree.
I'll still say it's like 40% his fault, but he has not had the easiest time. And
No, of course.
not,
Yeah, I agree.
Not
Yeah.
to mention that they shouldn't have drafted him in the first place. That he wasn't fit for their system.
I think, yeah, I agree with that too. Daniel, you haven't had the best of a career. The Giants are probably the reason why you sucked. But
Dragging my guy.
I'm sorry.
Can we get?
It's taken 5 years for them to realize
I'd buy
this.
a Daniel Jones jersey if you became like a Fitzpatrick. Just pull up to a team, win like 2 or 3 games, and then ride off into the sunset. Do it again for somebody
You want
else.
to? Should
I
we
know-
make a prediction about that then?
What?
I don't think Daniel Jones will play another down of football ever again.
I say Daniel will at least start another NFL game after
I'm
he leaves
talking-
New York.
I'm talking when he's out of New York this year, he won't play again.
Really?
Do you think he'll take the Cutler route since he got all that money? Just go out with it.
But Cutler actually was like good.
Okay, well,
Oh,
I only compared them because
it's easy. That's
he-
the
he's
easy
made-
B
he's-
word.
Well,
Okay,
compared
Cutler's
to Daniel
good.
Jones, Cutler was
Anyways.
good in Denver.
Anyways, Cutler in the realm of career earnings, Cutler has made nearly as
Oh, yeah.
about the same amount as Daniel. So that's why he was the first one to come to mind because they made enough money wise.
Right.
And
Okay.
they both went to bad organizations.
Okay, fair.
So, okay. So here's my thing when I look at both of these teams. So funny enough, I know that his head coach from his high school that he played at Catholic, and I know his head coach, like Daniel Jones. I don't know, is he done? Are we saying he's a wash? Like, is he done?
I
I don't
think
think
he's
he's
done.
Matt thinks he's
I don't
done.
think he's
I don't.
done.
I don't personally think he's
I
done.
think Matt's
It-
just being a hater.
I think there's a
I'm
I think there's a
I'm
team that will.
genuinely, I'm like genuinely not being a hater. Like I'm not trying to. Daniel's probably a good guy, but like literally the fact that the Giants kept him for 5 years
Yeah, that's a long
and
time.
they've done nothing with him, like I just don't think he has value, like at all for any team.
So is Dabo gone too?
I think so. I think they need to blow it up, but that's just me, because the Giants are just besides their D line, which I thought was going to be elite.
Yeah.
Um, they don't really have a lot. I mean, beside and like Malik Neighbors is great, but you need a quarterback to throw him the ball, so why does
True.
it even matter?
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, I'm gonna take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on that one.
Yeah,
And then
easily.
yeah, we can just jump to the next one. Cowboys versus the Commanders. I mean, I would
Commanders.
say this.
Commanders by 30.
Nah, I don't know about that. Cowboys hung around in the
Cowboys
first
by
and the third
30.
quarter against the Texans. I think the Commanders put their foots on their necks. I think they know now that like let's dominate, let's take advantage of the Dallas
You,
Cowboys
you
while
want
we
to
can.
guess the line for this game?
It's 10 and a half.
14.
10
10
and a
and
half.
a half. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, yeah.
Give me Commanders by 30.
I don't know about that.
I'm taking the Commanders. Yes, yes, Davion, they were competitive for maybe a quarter,
No, they were
but
competitive for a half.
but also the Texans were they just got Nico Collins back, so they're probably just
Trying to
scheming
force
everything
feed
again.
them.
Right.
Yeah, Mixon went
Berserk.
diabolical.
That was scary. Um, so yeah, Commanders should win this easily.
Yeah.
Cowboys fans, just keep
Close
praying
your
for
eyes.
Travis Hunter. Keep praying.
Nah, they're not getting Travis.
Or Genty.
They'll probably get Ashton though. That's what
I
I think
hope
they're
they
gonna
don't
get.
get Genty. They've ruined too many
They
elite running
will ruin his
backs.
life, but I hope they get him.
I miss my boy.
They're gonna run.
I miss
Run
Serial
him to the
Z.
cliff.
That's how I feel right now. I miss Serial Z.
Oh no.
All right, so next up we got the Raiders versus the Broncos. This should be a clean wash.
This is
Raiders are tanking for Shador. We
However,
know
it is a trap game because it is a divisional
that's
game.
right.
But Raiders are tanking for Shador. We know this.
Thank you, God.
Every week.
Thank you,
He's
God.
not even hiding. He's not even hiding it anymore.
It's so dumb, bro. Yeah, Broncos by 14.
Broncos are favored for this game.
I'll
I
take
think it's
Broncos
probably
by
10 and a half. It's probably 10 and a half.
Nope, it's only 5.5, and the
Yeah,
over
I
under
was
is
gonna say this is
41.
a lot closer than you think, Matt.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too. I get copyrighted. Um. So yeah, I'm taking the Broncos. Y'all taking the Broncos too?
Yep.
San Francisco 49ers versus the Packers in Green Bay. Ooh.
This is tough. This is tough.
Give me the
tough.
Packers. Go Pack,
Let's
go.
see. So Purdy can't win with 4 Pro Bowlers. Can he win with 5 Pro Bowlers
Start this crap.
this week?
Give me the San Francisco 49ers winning this game. Give me the Niners.
Give me the Pack. I can't trust the Niners this
The
year.
Niners always whoop on Green Bay, though.
That is true.
Give me Green Bay.
Give me
You gotta think
Jordan
about
Love
it. You
at
gotta think about
300
it.
passing
Niners are
yards,
coming off a
man.
loss. Niners are coming off a last minute loss. They're gonna have some steam on them. Like I think they're gonna win.
They're getting Kittle back.
Yeah. Yep.
True.
But no, stay on that side of those. No.
I'm not.
Pack is
I'm
only
still,
favored.
I'm still,
Stay over
I'm
there.
still
Don't
picking
come
Green
join the
Bay.
party.
Green Bay
I'm
is
still
only
picking Green
favored
Bay.
2.5 points, by the way.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh.
No.
It's just gonna come. That game's gonna come down to defense. Who
Yeah.
and is Purdy gonna mess up or is Jordan Love gonna mess up?
However,
I'll take my money. I'll give Purdy all my money before Jordan Love.
dude, on DraftKings
Crazy.
alone, 61% of the bets are on San Fran.
Interesting.
See, it's
I would
not
think they would go
surprising.
into that game as underdogs.
They are underdogs.
They are underdogs.
Oh, you said against. My bad.
They're 2.5-point dogs.
Oh yeah, we're good. We're here for it. I'm here for it. Next up, Cardinals versus Seattle Seahawks divisional game. I'm taking the Cardinals. They're rolling right now.
Yeah, give me Cardinals in Seattle too. That's a fun stadium.
Yeah. Oh, I bet you
Um,
know.
Give me the Cardinals as well, but the
Yeah.
Seattle's a 1-point favorite.
Oof.
Ooh, really?
One
Upset
point
alert.
favorite.
Well, I kind of want to take that bet. Never
And
again. Never betting again.
Zona is 56% on money line.
Okay.
Eagles versus the Rams in LA, Sunday Night Football.
Give me the Rams.
Give me the Eagles.
Give me the
Granted,
birds.
I'm gonna say give me the Eagles, but I think for all those reasons we said about 20 minutes ago, that's why the Rams will or the
There's
Eagles should
that's
lose.
Nick Sirianni will be the reason why they somehow lose to the Rams.
Yep.
And
Granted, the Rams have a good
because
team.
McVay
The
could
Rams are a good
outcoach
team.
people,
Oh, of course.
but
He will get outcoached by what's his face? Why can't I remember his name?
Shanahan? No.
No, what? The Rams coach?
Yeah,
it's
McVay.
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 Sean
Yeah,
McVay.
okay. Did someone say it?
Yeah,
No.
we said it.
Oh, bro, I didn't hear it. Sean McVay. Yeah. He'll outcoach Sirianni.
And the Eagles
Oh,
are
for
only
sure.
2.5 point favorites at the current moment.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
good
I'm
bet.
here for it.
That's going to be a super offensive heavy game, I think.
Yeah.
The over under is only 48.5, which is not the highest this week. But I will say we could see about 70 points combined here,
Yeah.
give or take, because ain't
Both
no
players.
way, because the Rams will not go down swinging, or won't go down without swinging, because they threw all over the Patriots secondary.
Well, the Patriots
Obviously avoiding Christian Gonzalez, but
other than him.
Puka went stupid, especially on his out routes, and Coop.
I think my
And
biggest thing I would
Yeah.
say is that, excuse me, the Eagles secondary is actually pretty good. Like they have a very good secondary, and I would say that that's why the Rams will lose this game is because of the Eagles defense. I think the Eagles defense is one of the top ones in the league, and they have been for a little while now.
if they
Um,
catch
yeah,
Philly if the Rams can establish a run game and they catch Philly in play action, this game
I
over.
just don't.
Philly
I
is
just don't
very
think-
bad against play action.
yeah.
True. So,
All right, last game of the week. We have the Ravens versus the Chargers. It's going to be a fun one there.
ooh.
And I would say this: if the Baltimore won this week, I would have 100% taken the Chargers, 100%. But I'm taking Baltimore to win this game. They just lost. They got a full head of steam. They about to piss somebody off.
This is actually tough.
I think that's
I'll take. Give me the Chargers. Because I think the Chargers defense is a little better than the Ravens right now.
Fair.
give me. I want to say the Ravens, but I gotta go Chargers. I gotta go to Chargers. The way
Herbert, we trust.
Yeah, and Herbert we trust. You got it.
Come on,
You
y'all
already
know I
know.
love Herbert. Don't do this to me.
In Herbert, we trust.
And
Don't-
Herbert
don't-
we
don't do this
trust.
to me, please. So, I mean,
What's
we'll
it gonna
see. It's going to
be?
be a fun weekend for that. But, shifting gears over to a new topic. The college football this year has been outstanding. I've genuinely enjoyed every single minute of it. I think with the increase of spots in the college football playoffs, with the increase of competitive games, teams aren't just standing by and playing terrible teams all season long. They're actually getting some very competitive games. And so, what we're going to do first off, we're going to start off by talking about some of the games from last week. We're going to give our, some feedback if they have any. Matt's an Oregon Duck fan. Arande's an Iowa State fan. I am a South Carolina fan. And let's talk. So, since let's get to that point, I'm going to talk about my South Carolina game really quickly. Because I've been going live on TikTok recently, and the main question I get is, can South Carolina still make the playoffs? I personally do not think so. I think our time has come past. I think 3 losses this year gets you out of the playoffs. You do not make the playoffs this year with 3 losses. And I also think that when you look at the college football playoffs, it's going to be made of 3 or 4 or 4 or 5 SEC teams, and then everybody else is going to have to fill in the gaps. So as we begin to talk about what's going to happen with the college football playoffs, let's start off with some of the big games. Colorado knocking off Utah, one of the best defenses in the country. Colorado Utah hasn't allowed 45 points, I think, on them in like 10 years or something like that.
Utah was a top five
Yeah.
defense when it comes to holding opponents. Pretty under subpar performances.
Yeah.
Even though they are they don't have the best record. They are not letting them score a lot.
And so another question I get on my lives, and I'll open this up to you too as well, is can Colorado make the college football playoff?
Yes. Especially if BYU loses their next game, which is very possible.
I think they win too. Here's my thing. I think when I look at Colorado, I think they went out and they win the Big 12. Simple as that. And they punch their ticket into the college football.
Who would they have to go against in the Big 12?
They play
BYU or the other idiots, Arizona State.
If they have to face Arizona State, that's a little bit harder.
I agree,
but they can easily beat BYU.
Yeah.
And Colorado's last two games is Kansas and Oklahoma State.
Does BYU have like any ranked wins?
Nope.
Oh wait, they do. My apologies.
Oh,
Why did it? Yeah, they beat Kansas State. Okay.
Oh, they're not ranked anymore, but yeah.
No, yeah, they were at the time.
Yeah, at the time, yeah.
Okay.
So we look at it. Colorado are playing insane right now. Out of their minds. 49 points against that Utah defense is pretty awesome.
Dude, and it wasn't even close. They scored that one touchdown in the first quarter, and it was game over from there. Also, I'm all for this Heisman race, but they got to stop meat riding Travis and Genty mid games. I just want them to do their stuff.
They're the Heisman favorites.
I know they're the Heisman favorites, but he got a lucky interception. They're like, ooh, adding to his Heisman resume. Brother, he right place, right time. Then he got burned for a 40-yard touchdown to Singer.
Okay, I'm not going to sit here and go under the mountain with you about this yet. We'll talk about that in a bit. So you look at Colorado, they get a big win. Clemson, in my opinion, should have lost to Pitt.
Simple my gosh, they should have lost.
Yeah.
Joke.
Neismer is so bad.
Absolute joke. Texas squeaks by Arkansas. Ohio State. They beat Northwestern. Easy win.
Easy. Wasn't even close.
Tulane gets the blowout win against Navy. Ooh. Obviously, Alabama plays Mercer in November, and they get a blowout win. What a joke, in my opinion. Like, why as a Power 5 school are you playing Mercer in November? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, I guess. Anyway, I digress. Illinois beat Michigan State. MSU or SMU, I would say MSU. SMU plays a pretty close game against Boston College, in my opinion.
Boston College is they're not. Boston College reminds you of Nebraska of old.
They got Bill O'Brien over there.
Strong team. Yeah, that's why his coaching he's doing pretty well. Strong team just can't finish games.
Yeah, I agree. We got Notre Dame beat the doors off of Virginia.
Dude, I love watching me some Notre Dame
Virginia.
Blowouts. Riley Leonard could win a running back reward at this point.
Yeah. Penn State beat Purdue, blew the doors off Purdue. South Carolina beat Missouri in a fun last fourth quarter interaction with them. Arizona State beat Kansas State. Boise State held off this weekend against whoever they played. I'm not going to San Jose State, I'm pretty sure.
That final score is deceiving too.
Matt, you okay with that?
No. The hell?
Welcome to the Big Ten, brother.
Georgia.
It's
go ahead, Matt,
don't do that.
Go ahead. Don't do that. Talk about your Ducks real quick.
Hey, the Ducks are rolling right now. They're 11-0. They're the number 1 team in the nation. Thank you, Uncle Phil Knight, for all that money. The NIL money is coming in clutch this year. Anyways, no, like Oregon, they're always a good program. It's just like they always have those games
when they
just. I don't even think it's about Oregon having slump games. I think it's just Wisconsin and the fact that
they're in Wisconsin.
It is Wisconsin.
Fair,
but they didn't even have their quarterback. If they had a quarterback, they win that game.
Yeah,
dude, I don't know, dog. Yeah, and also like Dylan Gabriel, he's good, but like I don't know, he's just not consistent enough for me. And then like obviously they beat Ohio State earlier this year, but like who knows what's gonna happen?
Should he be?
They got to win the big games.
Should Oregon be the best team in the country?
I mean, yeah.
Like, should they be number 1 right now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Even I agree with that because they beat us.
Oh,
They beat Ohio State.
great.
They
So
beat Illinois.
Yeah,
They beat
I don't understand.
Boise.
Ooh, ooh.
What?
Davion and his hatred for Ohio State this
I
season.
don't have hatred. No, no, don't start swinging that through the waves. So Georgia in Athens, 7:30 game. Tennessee goes into Athens and lose. Had a terrible second half. 31-17. Big win for Georgia.
Carson
Yeah,
Beck learned how to play quarterback again.
yeah, finally. I mean, even though his deep passes didn't look great, he's very inaccurate when it comes to that deep ball.
Yeah.
Very inaccurate. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. I wanted to go back to the Duck game. The other thing too is Dan Lanning
Uh-oh.
Oh,
aggravates the hell out of me
Here it
sometimes
is.
with his play calling, bro. No, 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 no. They were in field goal. This is the worst of it. They were in field goal range with like a minute left in that game, and they decided to go for a fake field goal.
I saw that. Yeah.
And I actually like lost my mind when he did that. I was like, just take the points. You're up by 6. You really think your defense isn't gonna like shut down this offense that's done nothing all game? Like, but yeah, they skid by whatever. They're 11-0, so we'll just see what happens. Okay, continue.
Yeah, Texas A&M, who in my opinion are very overrated, they beat the doors off of
Mhm.
New Mexico State. Iowa State wins against Cincinnati, who have just stunk it up for the past season and a half. New Mexico though gets the upset against Washington
dude,
State.
Washington State. I feel so bad because
Go
they're
Cougs.
just figuring it out,
Yeah.
Go
and
Cougs.
they sold it.
One of the biggest things here, Kansas gets the upset against BYU in BYU.
Mm.
What do y'all have to say about that? A lot of people are saying Kansas are a good football team. They're playing well. They have played well. They've beaten 2 ranked opponents over the past 2 weeks. Now they go again this week against a ranked opponent. What are y'all saying? What are y'all saying about BYU? Is 14 low enough? Or actually, right now, based off of the college football playoffs, which we'll talk about, and I'll put on the screen in a bit. They are in the college football playoffs right now. What are we saying about BYU?
Why are
They
they in
need.
it?
Yeah, well,
I'm serious. They
They
have no ranked wins besides Kansas State at the time
well, what they're about to do is their prove it game is when they go play Arizona
against
State.
Still, man, the fact they were in the top 10 and they didn't have a single ranked
Well, it's
win.
because they have a very strong offense.
mm-hmm.
They have
Not
a very
obviously not.
Yeah.
it's a very explosive offense, but they just disappointed me this week. Well, even though I'm rooting for Colorado to win the Big 12, but BYU still disappointed me.
Yeah. And so I'm looking at all of these games, and I'm looking at everything that goes into college football playoffs and blah 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 blah. Let's look at this here. Let's look at the college football bracket. What are y'all seeing about
The
here?
first 2 teams out are Tennessee and SMU.
Yeah, Tennessee and SMU, the first 2 teams out, which I don't think is fair. I definitely think BYU should be out here, personally.
I think Miami's out.
Really? You say they're gonna
Yeah.
lose they're gonna lose
I just
They have to lose the
That-
ACC championship game to get out, man. They have to lose the SMU. They have to.
SMU's look pretty good.
SMU
No,
can do
they
it.
looked shaky against Boston College, in my opinion.
And who did Miami lose to?
Uh oh, the doors got dragged off them
They
in the
got
running
killed,
game
right?
by Georgia Tech.
That's not
I mean,
shaky.
it makes you make a valid point, but I mean,
Their
listen, I've been
defense
saying
is
it for
horrible, but they more than make up for it with their offensive power.
there it is. I was gonna
Right,
say what I've
right.
been saying
Okay.
is if it's a shootout between SMU and Miami, then I think Miami wins. But if it's a defensive game, Miami's gonna lose. Like simple as that, because Miami can't play defense. They just can't. Like, how do your defensive coordinator go into a game against Georgia Tech saying, "Yeah, we gotta stop the run, we gotta stop the run," and then like they give up over 150 yards on the ground? Like what? That's just like
What they need to do is
he should got fired. I would have
Did they
fired
already
him
have
the next day.
their bye week? Miami?
Yeah, their bye week was last week.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I mean, coming off
Well,
their bye week, I mean, we're gonna predict the games here in a
if
second,
if we
but
see if we see how their defense does, that'll determine because
I mean,
when
all of
we
these look pretty accurate.
after Ohio State lost to Oregon, went into the bye week,
Can
Ryan Day whooped on his defensive team and his coaches, and they came back out in the top three defense. So if we can see Miami somehow turn off their program around from probably I think like 80th place in the country on defense into
yeah.
at least maybe top 50,
Davion,
that might make him do a lot better.
Yeah.
Davion, can you pull up like a top 25 bracket?
Yeah. Give me 10 seconds. Y'all keep talking.
So
Because I
I
just
with these top four currently Boise, Oregon, Miami, and Texas.
The new touch me.
Texas is the most vulnerable here.
yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
obviously Boise State's
Not
a good
Boise.
prize school. Not Boise, honestly. No,
You said
because
who's the most vulnerable? Oh, that word struggles. I
Vulnerable.
struggle with that one.
vulnerable.
I hate it so much. I hate it. I hate it.
It is a
Anyway,
bad word, but it's very usable. I think Texas.
ah,
They have the better depth at depth
uh-oh.
of most teams. However, yeah, that's a bad word for me too. However, I think that their weak performances this year says a lot. And a lot of teams are game planning just for Boise State just to stop Ashton Genty rather than the entire team, which I know
Their their home
that was
team
said
isn't
as a
awful
joke
though.
by Shador. It was
Ow.
said as a joke. However, I think there's some truth in that.
Yeah,
On top of the fact that they have a real passing game, which I think
yeah,
people are overlooking because
yeah.
of Ashton's monstrous performance, which I think is valid. I understand there were supporters behind the heroes. However,
But he gets the ball
they
30
are
times a game.
much
I mean,
I however,
problem.
Texas is a much more a much more unstable team to me. And with obviously, I mean, he runs it 30 times a game. You have the ability to do that. You're gonna win games.
Yep. And awards.
Blue is not running that thing, not running the rock 30 times.
Yeah. So here's the top 25. And I'm gonna go through real quick. I think the top. Here's my thing. I've been looking at it for weeks because every other day someone's asked me about it. I'm okay with one. Oregon being one, I'm here for it. Ohio State being two, I'm here for it as well. Texas being three, I'm here for it as well. Here's my issue. I think Penn State should go to 6, Notre Dame should go to 5, and Indiana should go to 4.
That's fine.
Because
I don't
I
think
feel like when I
Alabama
look at
should
when
be
I
in the
look
top
at
10.
huh? What'd you say?
I'm just an Alabama hater. I don't think they should be in the top 10 after losing to an unranked team like that. But that's just
Fair,
me.
fair. But I mean,
I
and
agree
look at
with the
Miami.
Penn
But
State
Miami's sitting it right
statement.
behind them at 8.
I agree with the Penn State statement because they got whooped by us at Ohio State.
I would say
Dog
whoa.
walked at home.
Also, I think Texas A&M can sneak into the top 12. I'm high
I
on them.
disagree. I'm standing out of that because I
If
think they'll
their
lose
if
to
their
Texas
strong
I think they're-
QB play continues,
Yeah.
they can stay if not move up a little bit more.
And they go against Auburn and Texas.
Yeah,
Their
they
last
play
two
Since
Texas
we're
next
speaking of these teams in this middle pack here, my favorite bottom five to 10 team is Ole Miss because Jackson Dart
that's a
has
good one.
something to prove.
Well, he's been
He
been
has
better,
something to
thankfully.
prove, and I'm all for his story at quarterback.
So, okay, let's continue. So that was my assumption from 1 to 6. I'm okay with Bama at 7 because if they play the way they played against LSU, we could be looking at a Alabama Crimson Tide national championships again. I mean, simple as
No.
that.
No.
If they played the way they played against LSU, man, really?
They're not doing that every week though.
You're 100% correct, but I'm just saying, like, if that was to happen, like,
Oh,
then
of course.
there's no one that can stop that
But-
team. No one. That's like if Miami can, if Cam Ward throws for 5 touchdowns and have over 350 passing yards, that's a win. That's an automatic win. But do I think that's going to happen? No, I don't think 7 or 8. I don't think 7 or 8 wins national championship. I'm 50-50. I don't know how I feel about Ole Miss yet. Inconsistencies from their offense and defense at times is why I don't have faith in them. I think Georgia can still win the national championship.
Yep.
I think Tennessee, I think they'll end up getting in, but right now they are out. They're the first team out. Boise State, I mean, depending on what happens with them for the rest of the season, who they have for the rest of the year.
They have. Hold on one sec.
Because I feel like, and I look at SMU and I think they're going to lose once the ACC championship gets here. BYU won't be there at 14. A&M's going to lose against Texas next week. So I see
And just for a
Colorado.
moment, I just see Miami's next game. They play Wake Forest. They're about to drop like 60 points.
Yeah, probably they should.
If they don't, that'll be
So
indicative of their performance.
Boise
Because
State's next two games are Wyoming and Oregon State.
Ooh,
These should be 2 wins.
It is 2 wins. It not should. It is 2 wins.
Okay, I mean, but again,
Dempsey might get 200 yards in Wyoming.
but this is what I don't understand. Like, then you get to this point where it's like, does Colorado get in
They're
over
not
a
getting in.
win in their conference, or does Boise State take that 4th spot?
I think if
Colorado, I
think in a perfect scenario where Colorado beats BYU or Arizona State in the Big 12, that's 2 ranked teams regardless. So one's obviously better than the other, but
Yeah.
that path went through their Big 12 championship gives Colorado the best chance rather than Tennessee, who has to deal with their stacked conference.
right. I just
And-
don't.
I think you look
I
at
don't-
it. If Alabama and Texas plays in the SEC championship game, if Bama
Texas
has to win
wins.
that game, or they will be out of the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
Because there's no 3 teams that are making it. No 3 lost teams that are
Both
making it.
both Bama and Ole Miss have to win out.
Yep.
There's no other choice.
I think
Then
Ole Miss is going to get grateful because they don't have to play in the SEC championship game.
are y'all saying Colorado sneaks in?
I think they
The
get
tw-
in. Yeah.
Who has to get knocked off? for
I
them to
think.
sneak
Okay.
in?
Here's what I think. I think who's going to come out. You're going to have Penn State's going to fall drastically because they're going to have 2 losses, and I think they may end up being first team out because they're in the Big Ten, right? And I don't think they're going to
Yes.
make it to the Big Ten championship game.
No, it's going to be Oregon, Ohio State in that.
Yeah, and
And
so
it's
I
gonna
think you look
be-
at it, Penn State's going to fall. Indiana's got to figure something out. I think they have
If
to beat Ohio
Indiana
State.
keeps-
They have to beat Ohio State
They don't
this
have
week.
to beat them. They don't have to beat them. They just have to stay within 10 points.
I think they'll beat them though, personally. We haven't talked about it yet, but we'll talk about it in a bit. Relax. Don't calm down. Calm yourself
I'm
down.
calm. I'm calm.
But again, I think Alabama loses. I think SMU loses. I think, and right now SMU is 12. No, yeah. No, they're third out. They're second out.
Yeah.
I think BYU gets away. I think Boise State potentially, they'll stay there because they'll win their conference. But like, I think we'll see Colorado get in. Tennessee will get in. Georgia will get in. Ole Miss, Miami, Notre Dame, the Ducks, the Buckeyes, the Longhorns, and
There's
Indiana.
4 Big
And
Ten
that's
teams
10.
in there. Jesus.
And that's 10 right there. That all those guys will 100% get
Well, I
in.
thought it was 12.
Yeah,
thought
I
it
know,
was-
but I'm just saying that's my 10.
That's
So
your top
what
10.
other
Okay.
2 are you going to add in there?
I'm putting
Boise
Texas
State?
A&M. I'm putting Texas A&M in there.
No, you're not going to have another SEC team in there. There's no way.
Why
There's
not?
no way. And no, but here's the thing. They're going to lose to Texas.
Do you
So
think
they'll have 3 losses. So they won't make it at that point.
That third loss is really
Okay,
going to
so
hinder it.
if Texas A&M beats Texas, is it a guarantee lock in the college playoffs?
No,
Yes.
because of the committee.
Yes.
But granted,
It
I would
has
say,
to be.
Yeah,
It
you're
has
right.
to be.
You're right.
It has
I think
to
the
even
committee.
Even
I
though
mean-
the committee hasn't taken some wins with more weight
The
than they
committee's
should
all
have,
dumb, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but
there's
that
team-
would be too great to overlook.
You're right. I'll take that back. I think the committee, for one, they've kept them in there right now. And so I think when you look at it,
The fact that they're even that close gives them the best
Yep.
chance.
yeah, you're
Right.
right. You're right. I think when I look at it right now,
Like-
I think they'll lose though, and I think they'll drop to 20, and then Colorado will go up to 12, 13, 14. Gamecocks will go to 12 or 13, 14, 15. And then, fill in the gaps, I guess, for the rest. Because Notre Dame's about to beat Army this week. So Army's going to drop. And then
Here's
we're going
the
to
thing,
see
too.
Arizona State after
Notre
they
Dame
beat
is
BYU.
a 14 and a
We're
half
gonna
point
see
favorite over
Arizona
Army.
State beat BYU, and they're gonna drop. And so, I mean, it's like after this week, we're gonna see a whole nother shift. like it won't be as easy and as close as people like, or it's like as easy as people think. Like these are going to be some hard predictions to figure out.
My thing is the committee just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, they're a clown show.
Like Penn State at 4 is just so weird to me. Like
Yeah,
obviously they're killing teams, but they haven't played anyone. Like besides, and then the team they lose to is Ohio State. Like I don't get how they're that high up. Like
Hey Matt,
it,
how many we're gonna have? There's a
4 Big
real
Ten teams.
potential that we could have two lost to Ohio State teams in the championship this
That's what
year,
I'm saying.
or in the playoffs in general. That's gonna be odd.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense.
But
Like
it's kind of we're there's been a lot of discourse about Big Ten versus SEC lately, but we're entering a territory where we have the Big Ten who's starting to keep grow their real estate in the playoffs, and the SEC who is starting to lose their real estate
yeah,
because they have too much good competition in it.
right.
Which not to
But
say
with
that Big
with
Ten's
like the
not loaded, but the SEC we might have to start. They might have to bring divisions back. They might have to bring their own divisions back because they're just holding each other back.
yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I don't know. The college committee is so weird. I just don't
Also,
understand it.
there's even more chaos if on the really slim off chance that Army beats Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's yeah. Oh, I
That
mean,
could happen. Didn't Notre Dame lose to
it was week 2. Relax, relax. It was week.
loss is a loss. I don't care.
No, I think it's my.
No, I know. It's better to lose early for
Yeah,
sure.
It's
But
oh yeah, definitely. Didn't I mean Notre
everyone
Dame won
has
it the hard
recency
way
bias,
in
man.
the
That's why they're
Minty.
sitting at number 6.
But I wanted to point out that Riley Leonard, because we're talking about Notre Dame, Riley Leonard has only a little under 1,800 yards passing on the season, but he's also the second leading rusher on the team with 641 yards rushing.
Jesus.
Jeez.
I've really been enjoying Notre Dame games this season.
Okay, so
Which is why I'm pretty high on them to perform well and have a decent run down this playoffs.
We can say it. What are our our team who thinks they're gonna win it all?
obviously the
I have three teams that
Obviously,
are
y'all
good
have to like
chances
root
of
for
winning.
your team because y'all's teams are actually gonna get into
uh,
the playoffs.
okay.
But I would say
All
here's mine. Mine is actually Notre Dame.
no shot.
That's been
Yeah,
my
no,
pick
I agree.
for the past 2 weeks.
One that's one of my three teams. My three teams for this year's championship is Oregon, Ohio State, and Notre Dame.
Why
Those are
Notre
my
Dame?
three. Why
Why
Notre
Notre Dame?
Dame? Because like Army, oh well, they're just Army but better at passing.
And they've been and they're a
A running
dominant team.
quarterback
They have a
that can
dominant
throw
defense. They have a
with
dominant
a top
offense,
10 defense.
and they have a great coach. That's why.
Okay.
And then so
Also,
that's also my same reason for Ohio State. If they revamp their defense, which is now top three defense, and then they have the rushing attack that's come back after being stifled by Oregon, no less, which was the biggest stepping stone for improving their season. And now you have Will Howard, who's still throwing 75% on the season, 74%. And then obviously Oregon, number one team in the country. You can't rule them out from the championship.
Nope.
So
right.
that is my three. Those are my three teams. Two of them I
I would,
naturally already root for. So
yeah, I was just gonna say Oregon, of course. Ohio State too. I think they're always gonna be, you know, just right behind there. They're like never out of it. So,
I agree.
um, this is kind of a wild one. I could see Georgia sneaking and winning somehow.
I completely agree with that statement.
Like
I'm going
they
to be the
just
only one that
everything
just counts
clicks
out
at the
Georgia.
end. I'm counting out Alabama. I can't.
I'm not
I
even
can't.
consider. I'm not even going to lie. The only SEC team I think that has a remote chance is number 3
Texas.
Texas.
Texas, yeah.
Texas.
So I'm
Because
saying,
because they
yeah.
have a true freshman D lineman with over 6 sacks in a season.
You know he's from Charlotte. Fun fact.
Yes, he is insane.
Is
I was
Archie
watching-
or you are still playing?
You were still
Ewers.
playing, and he's playing well enough. It's not like he's Carson Beck, but the fact that Texas is getting like I think 60% of their pressures just from rushing 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary.
That line terrifies me.
That's
I
scary.
want no smoke with their line, especially because like I mentioned earlier, Ohio State's weakness is their put together O line, which, to give them credit, they're making do, and it's been working for the most part. But given their Texas's strong pass rush, I I can't. That is a problem. It's a problem I don't want to deal with.
Huh?
So as we, begin to move to wrapping up the college football segment of the post game podcast, we're going to call it, um, let's give some predictions for this week. We have, and I'm only going to talk about the top 25 games. Who cares? We're at a point in the season where it's all that matters. We
If you're
got
talking about the other games or just betting,
Yeah, I know. What? You said something stupid.
I
SMU
did.
has Virginia. I think SMU wins this game. Virginia's been
SMU should win that.
awfully bad this year. Wake Forest and Miami. Miami coming off the bye week should drop 50 on Wake Forest, right?
If
Yes.
they don't, it's a shame because Ole Miss dropped 60 on them early in the season, and I was downtown Winston for that one.
And I think at this point, don't you have
Oh.
like you have to like you have to
They
start
have
showing the committee.
they're going to have to start stat padding.
Yeah, you have to show the committee why you want to be in the playoffs, and I think this does it. Um, number nine. Oh, not number 9. Oh, yeah. Ole Miss plays Florida. I think this is gonna be an upset right here in the swamp.
Florida looked really good against LSU.
Yeah, got their quarterback back. Look at
Mhm.
Rondé. Uh-oh, something's churning over there.
What's wrong, Aronde?
You already know it. Yeah, you heard me earlier. This is another Jackson Dart masterclass game.
Should be.
I'll go Ole Miss.
I got Ole Miss by a touchdown.
I'm definitely going Ole Miss though. Not even a debate.
Ole Miss is favored 10.5. I don't think it's going to be that large of a gap.
Maybe
I think
7.5. I
about
think.
7 points. Yeah.
Here's a big one for the weekend. Indiana, number 5, plays number 2, Ohio State. So I prefaced this earlier. I said I definitely want Indiana, or I have Indiana win this game against Ohio State in Ohio State. And there's one reason, coaching. I think if I'm looking at Ryan Day and I'm looking at the other guy on the other side, I don't remember what's his name? Kurt something. When I'm looking at him, I'm taking him all day long. Ryan Day, he showed that in big games, he's a clown. He folds, their team folds, and there's just nothing but talent over Ohio State. And there's no, there's talent, but that talent isn't being coached the way it needs to be. So give me Indiana for the upset. Now let me go hide in the corner.
You're smoking something,
There we
dude.
go.
As I've previously mentioned, they have turned around since their really silly loss to Oregon.
That was
So-
a real no. It wasn't silly.
Uh-oh.
That was not pass interference. Anyways,
crazy. Maybe your QB needs to slide earlier, but we'll talk about that later.
anyways, I can't wait for the Big Ten championship so I can talk smack again. But Indiana, I approve of their ranking. I approve of I acknowledge their ability. However, they are not better than Ohio State in any capacity. Not a single place that is Indiana better than Ohio State. And Ryan Day's not even doing play calling right now. He hasn't play called in weeks. The defense is clicking. The offense is obviously clicking. They have a freshman in Isaiah Smith. He is having a year. Our wide receiver 3 is a wide receiver 1 on 20%, like 80% of other teams. Ohio State will win this, no issue, no problem.
What's the score? How much did they win by?
Uh-oh.
I think Ohio State wins this game 38-30.
Okay.
And 30 is generous.
30?
Let's see.
Your offense 30 points.
Scoring 30?
38. I said 38-30.
Not against.
Bro, are you smoking crack?
I've been
Let's look
watching.
at your
I've
offense.
watched every.
Let's look at your offense. Let's look at your
Look at
offense.
my offense. Look at my
Okay,
offense.
you played Northwestern 31, Purdue 45. Those are two of the worst teams in college football. Penn State 20, Nebraska 21, Oregon, you two had a shootout. Iowa, another bad football team you thought 35 on. You beat Michigan State 38. Yeah, okay, bad. I think this week you will be
We're
grateful to go.
averaging
You'll
like
be grateful
34
to
points a game.
yeah. Look who I just can't juice go all those points again.
And your
Nobody.
point, the
No
offense
one.
is producing regardless.
No one. I
It's not,
promise you
the
this
reason
week.
we're not even blowing up people is because we play time of possession.
I
We're running the
promise
ball.
you. No, I promise you won't score over 21 points this game.
I'll put money on that.
What you want to throw it down? Okay.
$10.
There's no fear in my heart. How much?
$10.
21 for the 21 points, $1 a point.
Nah, I got. I'll give you 10. I'll give you 10.
$10.
I'll give you that 10. I'll give you that 10 that
Over-
Matt's gonna be sending my way here soon.
No, I still have a chance. Anyways,
21 points.
okay.
You're smoking, bro.
no, that's gonna be.
Give me 24. Give me
The
24.
matter
What's
of fact,
the over-under?
over-under is 51.
Give me 24. Give me 24 points. I'll take.
And Ohio State's favorite 10.5. No, obviously Ohio State is
10 and a
not.
half.
Really?
No, I'm sorry, 13.5. Sorry. Sorry.
They're right. 13.
Oh, they're smoking the same stuff you're smoking.
13.5 points. Ohio State is
Whatever.
favored.
Get out of here.
Ohio State wins
Get out.
38-30.
Get out.
Okay. I didn't even make my pick yet. Ohio State's the better team. I don't want them to win, so I'm going Indiana. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's respectable. Unlike Davion.
We just need Ohio State to keep losing. That's all I care. But they'll probably win because they're just a way better team than Indiana. I don't know how Indiana's fifth, but
And we're playing at home.
yeah, that's a crazy game, Davion, to think about.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Believe me. So
Yeah,
yo,
what the hell? Indiana's played nobody.
Georgia, UMass. I'm taking Georgia, obviously. I think we're all taking Georgia. UTEP versus Tennessee. Obviously, Tennessee. Here's another upset watch right here. Penn State versus Minnesota.
That's not crazy to say.
Oh,
That's
I
not a crazy one.
know, but it'll be closer than people want it to be.
Game of the week is Arizona State versus BYU.
Are you sure it's not Kansas and Colorado?
Nah. I ain't got no worries about that.
I don't either, but you know,
After what they did to Utah, I ain't even concerned.
yeah, I think
Now,
Colorado beats Kansas.
I have the power of the jinx on my side, so it's
is.
probably going to come back to a clip.
Clip
but
it right now.
Colorado should walk out
Just
of there
take care of
easy.
business, yeah. Matt, you think Colorado take care of business? Take care of business? Take care of okay, yeah.
Are they playing at Arrowhead?
Who?
Colorado, Kansas.
I don't think so.
I think they're playing at Arrowhead.
Why?
I don't know.
They are. It says Arrowhead Stadium. Huh.
That's crazy.
Good for them.
Well,
They're gonna sell it out too.
that thing is going to be full.
They're gonna sell it out.
Oh, Clemson plays the Citadel, guys. What an awesome game.
In November. It's a
On
joke.
the CW.
A joke.
This
Absolute
game's
joke.
this is such a fraud game. They don't even have the line or over under next to it.
BYU versus Arizona State. What are we picking here?
Give me Arizona State.
I do that. Give me Arizona State. Arizona State have that very young head coach who's a dog. He has a lot of fire under them.
Dude,
They've
his
been
interview when they stormed the
neglected
field.
and put down all season long. He's about to come out here and wax BYU. Watch. Or not him, his boys are.
Belt 2A.
Yeah, that one. Matt,
What's it going to be, Matt?
I'm struggling over there. Oh, can't hear
Oh,
him.
his mic's not working.
Mike's not working. There it is.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yep.
What was the game again? My bad, bro. I got
Is he
distracted.
having a stroke? BYU
No,
versus
bro.
Arizona State.
Arizona State.
Oh, clean sweep over here at the post.
I just want to mention one side game. Wisconsin plays at Nebraska. And I think that's going to be as Defensive snooze fest.
Snooze fest. I'd rather go home and go to sleep. Texas versus Kentucky. I think it's gonna be close. I think
Oh,
Kentucky plays top teams
Kentucky is
very
a
well.
real football team.
Yeah, they are. I think they win.
Give
Or
me
I think Texas
Texas.
wins, but like I think Kentucky plays teams a lot closer than they like. They almost beat Georgia
Yeah,
in
just I was about to say, call Georgia about that. See what they say. See what they say about it.
oh yeah, hey, you better play for real. That's what they're gonna say. Wofford versus South Carolina. South Carolina win that.
They don't even have the
Uh,
numbers up for that one.
Yeah,
Army
why would
versus
they?
Notre Dame. This is another game that people are saying could be on upset watch. What I think is a
I thought I at
Come on,
first
Army.
stop
a
it.
couple of weeks ago I would have been like Notre Dame has to worry about Army,
Yeah,
but Notre Dame should win this easy.
I think so too. Excuse me. And then Boise State versus Wyoming can be Boise State.
Boise State.
23-point favorites.
How
Good
is
lord.
Washington State still in the rankings? I don't know, but they play Oregon State. Who
That should be easy
cares?
for them.
Um, and then the last two, Texas Tech, no, not Texas Tech, Texas A&M versus Auburn.
If Texas A&M loses this, they should lose their ranking.
Their whole ranking
The
completely.
whole
Yeah,
ranking?
the whole ranking. Just drop
Wow.
out completely if you lose to Auburn.
Wow.
They'll put them to like 25 or something.
Hope so. Let's get out of South Carolina's way.
Texas A&M is making the college playoffs. Give me Texas. I
I'll
am
take Texas A&M. I don't
writing
know if
to
they're making. I don't think they're gonna.
I'm taking
they're
Texas
making the
easy.
college playoffs.
Yeah.
But if they lose to Auburn, they should just lose their ranking entirely.
And then Alabama versus Oklahoma.
Please, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is so bad, but I'd love for them to win
I
this
mean,
game.
we got the Iron Bowl next week though. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. We'll come around somewhere.
Also, Iowa
Give
State plays
me
Utah.
Alabama to beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a snooze fest over there. So yeah, those were our predictions for college football, for the NFL. We're gonna probably take the next 10, 15 minutes max and talk about the NBA a little bit. This season in the NBA, I have neglected it to all high standards, but the NBA has been a lot of fun. We've seen teams like the Cleveland Cavaliers go to, what, 10-0? Actually, they just lost, so they're 10-1 now. Uh,
Oh
the
yeah.
the Celtics just beat them in a pretty close one, 120 to 117. So, look at teams like the Cavs. They're healthy. They're got a new coach. He was an assistant coach at Golden State for a while. Robbie Atkinson, if I'm not mistaken, great coach. Got those boys working.
Kenny Atkinson.
Yeah, Kenny
Kenny
Atkinson.
Atkinson.
Robbie. Who did Robbie? Kenny Atkinson. He's done a great, fantastic job up there. They're number one in the East. I've enjoyed watching or looking at some of their Cavs games. You got the Thunder, who are first place in the Western Conference without a center at all. There's no Chet. There's no how
Holmgren. That's
Harnstein.
no Hartenstein.
Hartenstein.
Hartenstein. So I mean,
Yeah.
they're balling because of Shea, and that what that team is doing has been nothing but incredible. Looking at them, and then one of my main teams that or there's two more teams I want to talk about, and then I'll open the floor. And then we got the Warriors. They're 10-3, second place in the Western Conference. Their bench is averaging 58 points a game, and
Buddy
one of the
Hield
most
is such an important acquisition for
Yeah,
the
literally.
Warriors.
who
Buddy Hield.
Buddy Hield.
but because he's like what Clay was 5 years ago. Literally, because Clay last year, the year before wasn't holding his own, and so he was holding them back. But what he
Shout
has
out,
done
shout
this
out
season,
Steve Kerr for actually coaching for once.
easy, 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 easy.
I'm a Warriors fan. I can say that.
People be hating on Steve. I love Steve Kerr.
I
think
love
he's done
Steve
his
too,
job, man.
but some of the yapping got to me. He has gotten a little lazy a couple times.
Yeah. So here's my thing. I think people don't say this much, and I want to put some praise out there. Draymond Green is one of the most important players in the NBA. He is one of the most important players when it came to that dynasty as well. And I think no one says it, no one gives him his flowers, but he deserves his flowers. Draymond Green has been an absolute dog and an absolute threat for 10 plus years when it comes to that team, to that Warriors. And right now, for them being 10-3, he has been a huge piece of this team this year. And it's just been great watching them and that defensive presence that Golden State has. Like it's back, and that team is a force to be reckoned with. And so that's what I want to talk about. And the 76ers being 2-11. What a clown show. What a clown show.
Just injuries for them mainly, but
But Joel too, though. I mean,
Maxi,
I mean,
Maxi,
Maxi's
apparently
hurt,
Maxi,
Embiid's hurt.
Maxi challenged
When
Embiid over
Embiid
his late stuff.
yeah, he
when
came out and
Embiid
was
gets
like,
on the court, he just goes for flops. It's so fun to watch.
Shout out the Hornets though.
You know what?
you know what?
Yeah,
Shout out
where
the
are they?
Hornets.
5-8. Honestly, better than I thought.
And LaMelo's just been shooting the ball like crazy. I'm
Yeah,
loving it.
LaMelo's been
I'm
And
loving
getting
it.
fines, you know, getting fines out here.
That's a crazy
100K?
fine. That's a crazy fine. He should
100K
not have been
was
fined for that.
crazy, dude.
Easy, easy, easy. Hey, be easy. Hey, we gotta find some ads from somewhere. But yeah, no, 100K is crazy for what he said. But yeah, no, I think the NBA, like, you know, once college football and the NFL start to die down a little bit, obviously we'll become more and more invested because we'll need to find something to watch. But you know, I've loved every minute of November, of October of sports. I'm so happy it's back. I'm so happy that, you know, we're gonna get these videos back up and going. Um, Anything else y'all have for anything before we close?
I want to say that
Uh-oh.
nothing crazy.
Oh,
Nothing
do
crazy.
y'all have predictions for the NBA Cup?
Not a clue in the
Not a
world.
clue.
Um, I
I
think
mean,
it's still early though. Like it's still very early in the whole.
It is
I don't
early.
even
There's
I don't even know
still-
I don't even know what the cup is.
Okay, yeah.
It's
Around
basically
sit you in the
it's
corner.
basically just like some in-season tournament they do. It's just for
Yeah.
more money for the players, basically.
And it makes like the month like November,
It
September,
makes it
October. It
right,
makes them competitive.
more
Like, it's,
competitive because yeah, a lot of the beginning of the year it's very like wishy-washy,
Yeah.
and then like after the All-Star break is like when people like truly watch
Yep.
the NBA, I think.
Okay, that helps me out. In that case, with the Cavaliers being hot and just barely losing to the Celtics, give me
So,
the
yeah.
Cavs. Just to say it,
Okay.
just to make it feel something. Also, I do like
Um,
what the Lakers are doing with their
yeah,
rotations
the
and stuff. I'm
Lakers. Hey,
very happy with JJ's hiring.
JJ's done a great job. I don't
And
think they win it
people
all
have been
though.
pointing out that a lot of things that they said on their podcast with him and LeBron have already happened or
Oh, yeah.
are still happening. And there's something about yapping and actually making it come true.
It got out the group chat, man.
They made it out the group chat. I really do enjoy hearing about the Lakers' success a little bit here and there while I maintain my
Ignorance to the
loose
sport.
following up. Yeah. With my loose following of the Warriors, because I have notifications turned on for them for ESPN. So that's all I hear about. If I don't hear some crazy noise on Twitter, or if I come across the Sports Center post, I'm probably gonna miss it. So
You know,
also the Bucks suck.
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
bad.
they're
Doc
all-
Rivers needs to get fired.
yeah, he was dog wherever he was at before he went. Oh, in the 76ers. But I would say this about the Lakers. I think they need to play Dalton Connect a lot more. I love Dalton Connect. I thought he was great when he was in Tennessee. And I would also say that when it looks at the Lakers, I don't think they win it all this season. I don't think they win anything. I just think they are, you know, on a boat of washless talent. I think you'll see Gabe Vincent traded and you'll see D'Lo traded as well for end of the season. They're looking for a center,
If
a real center.
D'Lo's traded, it's LeBron's fault.
No, D'Lo's washed. He's
No,
terrible.
D'Lo's been really bad.
He's been
Aronde,
awful.
really
Is
bad.
Is it that bad? I only heard about like 2 bad games.
Oh
No.
no, Tom's at 2.
Oh. I'll have to do some
Um,
research on that.
Yeah, it's bad.
Well,
Hey.
you know, this has been real. I've enjoyed every minute of it. Appreciate y'all for joining. We'll have weekly podcasts back out every single Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. So, you know, get a listen, leave a like, comment, all that fun stuff. I may end up doing some soccer incorporated into these. We'll see what have to happen. These morons don't know anything about soccer, so I have to figure it out. And so, yeah,
You're not
I
wrong.
appreciate y'all for
Nope.
joining. Matt, Oronde, thank y'all for being back. 2025, the post game will take over the country. But yeah, anyway, I have been your host, Davion. This has been the post game. Peace.
Peace.